I'm Danny, and today I have my birthday book haul. So I'm gonna first go through the non-book things that I got for my birthday, and then I will go through the book things that I got pre my birthday, and then I'll tell you when the books that I actually got for my birthday start. So let's start with the non-book things. I got some It CC cream makeup from my mother's best friend. Put it on like very thin. I don't think you can like tell a difference if you're looking at me in real life, or maybe if I get closer then you probably could tell, but I just put on like a very thin layer of it, and I think it looks pretty nice. I'm less red than I normally am, so I like it. So if I have like a lot of stuff I need to cover up, I know it'll do the job. Then I got this set of e.l.f. brushes. This is both eye and face brushes. I've got like plenty of eye brushes. Some of them kind of old that I need to throw away, and some of them are kind of newish that I just got within like the last year or so. And then I got these, and then a whole bunch of face brushes that I've been desperately needing because I've been wanting to do new things with my makeup, but I didn't have the brushes for them. So now I've got some new eye brushes and face brushes. Next, I got this Doctor Who teacup set. It comes with a cup and the design of the TARDIS, and then a saucer that has like a nebula on it, and it's very cute and very nerdy, and I love it. I don't know where she got it from, but if I can find out where she got it from, I'll link it below in case you want your own. I forgot to say, but I got the Doctor Who teacup set from my mother. So next, we're going to get to this big bag, and I got everything in here from my mother as well. I got the birthday card. It's kind of a little multicolored sparkly cat. I don't think you can see the sparkles though. Next, I got a little bit of car bling. It's actually a car air freshener from my mom because I'm always changing the scent in my car. As soon as like one air freshener runs out, I'm replacing with another one, so she got me this. Then she got me some pajama leggings. I like practically live in my pajama pants when I'm home, so this will definitely come in handy this winter, and they're very soft. Then she got me two sets of regular leggings, and she got some nice pretty flower ones that are very cute, and then she got me this creepy kind of skull ones, which I love, like the dark creepy stuff. Skulls and witchy kind of things are my thing. So she got me the skulls and the flowers, which are kind of like just two halves of my personality. We have the serial killer part of me and the nice fluffy part of me. And she also got me another air freshener that I actually didn't see before. This was at the bottom of the bag. Okay, I had to leave really quick because I had two packages arrive for me, which are kind of sort of birthday presents. This one I got in the mail. I'm not sure what this is. I don't believe I've ordered anything. It says some sort of book group. Oh, it's probably one of the gifts I was to receive for pre-ordering certain books. So let's see what book this is for. Oh, okay, it's a alternate cover for Capturing the Devil that I pre-ordered. And I think it's pretty close to the original one, but it's kind of like flip-flop. Like in the original one, I'm pretty sure this gold is in the background and her dress is black. But I really like both of them. I'm not sure which one I'll keep on the book. I kind of like the original, but I really like this. It's very pretty and gold. And I think there was something else in the box. Yes, there is. Oh, that's beautiful. Ooh, it's double-sided. Okay, so we have an art print, a skull, and some roses. And then we have a picture of Aubrey Rose and Thomas. Oh, that's so beautiful. I'm definitely going to have to frame this side. It's just gorgeous. So I'm going to put these back in the box until I can do something with them, because I don't want to put them down and then sit something on top of them and then they're just ruined. So I'm going to put them both back in this little box. Okay, so that is all the non-book things, and now I'm going to get into the actual books that I got for my birthday as gifts. Okay, I know I said the next thing we're going to go into is the books that I actually got for my birthday, but there are a few books that I did not get for my birthday that I just remembered, so let's go through those before we get to the actual birthday books. So first I have A Daughter of Silence by Carrie Rain. I got this at a library book sale. I got this out of my not my library's book section, but like a few towns over. I went over there for a interview at the library, and I decided before I left I'd just take a look at their for sale section and see what they had, and I found this. This is a book that was like really popular a few years ago. It is, I believe, like a kind of suspense revenge story. Okay, it's about this girl who goes on this cruise ship with her family on this ship called the Persephone, and like a few days into their cruise, suddenly there's something wrong and the ship sinks, and only 3 people make it out alive, and those other 2 people tell a completely different story than our main character, and I'm guessing somehow they lied, and maybe somehow they're responsible for her parents' death, because this is a revenge story. Next I have The Queen Underneath by Stacy Fleek, I believe. This is about 2 different worlds. The upper world is ruled by the aristocrats, and the underworld are ruled by assassins and thieves. And suddenly the rulers to both worlds are murdered. In comes our main character Gemma, who is now both the queen underneath and the queen to the upper throne. And she tries to create peace between their 2 worlds before the entire city explodes. But I'm guessing it's just not going to be that simple. There's probably some sort of twist to the murders that were happening, some sort of plot to assassinate her maybe, I don't know. But it sounds really gritty and dark and kind of politically, and I know I'm not really into political books, but it does sound interesting, and so I can't wait to try this one. Next I have Brithday by Kristen Cashore. Yeah, Kristen Cashore, and this is the sequel to a book I already have called Fire. I know these books are not like a normal series where they don't follow each other. They're actually more like companion novels, and one book follows one group of characters and the second book follows a completely other group of characters, though I have heard characters from each book show up in the other books. So I wanted to read this one first before I read Fire, just in case of anything spoilery. And in this world, some people are born with this thing called a grace, and a grace just gives you kind of a power over a certain thing. Like I believe our character in this one, her grace is with fighting, so she can fight with pretty much any kind of weapon, and that's all I really know about it. And I know in Fire, she obviously must have some power over fire, and I think she's like half monster or something, and that's really what drew me to that book. But I want to read the first one before I read the second one. I picked this one up at a library book sale. I think it was 25 cents or 50 cents, something like that. Okay, next I have How to Wake an Undead City, and since this haul will most likely go up before my 6-month wrap-up, you will see in that all those wrap-ups that I have been like binging this series over the last few months, and I've reread the books like 2 or 3 times because I love them that much. This book popped up as on sale, so I immediately went to the author's website, because she is an indie author, and ordered this book, and she was so nice and personally signed it to me. It is so sweet. I think this is like the second to the last book in this series, or it might be the last one, and then there's just like a separate book following this, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be following the same characters, though I do know she has started a completely separate series now. This woman writes fast. So I have How to Wake an Undead City by Haley Edwards. This follows Greer and Linus as they continue on with their story, and I cannot wait to get into this one, because this will be Greer finding out more about her necromancy powers, and I can't go too much into detail, but she finds out that the family who disowned her mother, they are actually in the habit of breeding goddess touch necromancers, which is what Greer is. And she's supposed to get in contact with this family and find out what they know about her and if they have anything that can help her. And I'm so excited to read this one. I've been trying to read it, but other things that like reading groups and buddy reads keep getting in the way. But as soon as I'm clear of all those things, I'm reading this one. Next, I have The Darkest Passion by Gina Showalter. I love her writing. She writes some nice smutty delights. And I'm not sure what this one is about. I think this is like this is her Lords of the Underworld series. Yes, Lords of the Underworld series. I don't know which one this follows, but I know all these books are kind of sort of companion novels. They follow kind of a basic line of each other, like a plot will develop in one book and then another character will keep developing that plot in each book, but I'm not sure where this one follows. It might be book 1, could be book 5, I don't know, but I love her books. So I picked this up at that same library sale for 25 cents. I have Unwind by Neil Shusterman. I saw the kind of, it looked like a movie trailer, but it was a book trailer, so of course I looked for that movie to come out forever only to figure out that it was a book trailer. And so I want to read it because of just the concept. Basically, if your parents decide they no longer want you, they could unwind you. Basically means that they will give you to doctors to take your body apart and do whatever they need to with those bodies. Like say someone needs a liver, that person will get a liver. They could just do that to your whole body. And that concept interested me so much that I didn't need to know anything else about it. Plus, I only paid 50 cents for this at Goodwill, I think. Next, I have The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. This book has been out forever. Like everybody but me has read it. And I love Greek mythology and I've been wanting to get into this series for years and I just haven't. So now I have the first book. I can read it. I've actually requested this at the library quite a few times and each time I'm always like the 5th or the 2nd person in line. And then I lose interest and I remove myself from the wait list. So now I have my own copy. So anytime I want to read it, I can just pick it up. Next, I have Alice in Zombieland by Gina Showalter. As I said a few minutes ago, I love her writing. I've never read any YA from her, so I'm interested. And I know this is obviously Alice in Wonderland, but obviously Wonderland is twisted and darker than we originally know of, and obviously has zombies. That's all I need. So whenever I feel like a zombie read, this will be my first pick. This book I bought off eBay. It was kind of like a pre-birthday gift to myself, but truly it's just that I wanted it, so I bought it. And this is The Witch's Daughter in my September wrap-up, which hopefully should come sometime soon, probably before that 6-month wrap-up that I keep talking about. You will find out that I read another book by this author and I loved it so much I had to order this one, and it's off eBay because everywhere else I looked this book was like $25 for like a hardback, and I believe I got this off eBay for like $5. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I do believe this is a duology, so there is one more book after this, but I love it so much. This is obviously about the daughter of a witch. That's all I really know. This author has like a ton of witch books, and while the witch book of hers that I read before was kind of slow, it definitely wasn't action-packed. Most of the book was slow, and then like that end was just like packed with action. I loved it, so I ordered this for myself. And we are back to the books that I got from that library book sale, and I got all 6 of these books for $3. And there are 2 different series by the same authors, so let's start with the first ones. So first I have Kelly Armstrong's Full Darkness Rising trilogy, and that is The Gathering, The Calling, and The Rising. I believe this is about like shapeshifters or skinwalkers or something like that. I'm not sure if she turns into an animal or if maybe she can turn into other people, or maybe both, I don't know. So, but I've heard tons about this on Goodreads and a little about it on YouTube, and I love finding those series that no one really talks about because then you can't get spoiled for it if you happen to watch somebody's video. And I also picked up another trilogy by the same author, and that is The Summoning, The Awakening, and The Reckoning. And this is also by Kelly Armstrong. I believe this one's more about ghosts, I think. It's like our main character is normal until the day she sees her first ghost, and the ghost sees her, and then I imagine everything goes crazy from there. But I've heard a ton about this series, so I already know that this character has been genetically altered by some sort of group, but I can't remember exactly why the person I think I watched on YouTube said, and I don't want to remember. I just want to kind of go into this blind. So all 6 books for $3. a steal. Okay, few more books and then we will get into the books that I got for my birthday. And the rest of these books will just be books that I've gotten in subscription boxes over the last few months that I could not film because I was just like in a complete non-filming mood. Actually, before the subscription books, we have one last book, and that was The Slayer. My mom just surprised me with this one evening. I pointed out to her in a bookstore and completely didn't expect her to remember it. And then she came home one day and she's just like, here. I'm like, thank you. I'm still surprised when she remembers this because sometimes I'll be talking about that, and I'm like, I'm like, Mom, you listening? She's like, uh-huh. I'm like, what did I just say? She's like, no idea. So the fact that she was actually listening for this one, surprised. So the most recent book I got from a subscription box, which I actually got 2 in this box, but the other one is somewhere over there on my bookshelf and I don't want to go get it. So I believe it's The Haunting of Hill House. And then I also got in the same box The Bone Houses, and this is about a character whose family owns this graveyard, and the dead that they bury in their graveyard don't always stay dead. So it's kind of like Pet Cemetery. And then a new amateur map maker comes to town, and suddenly the bone houses, the corpses that rise from the ground, are attacking with a new ferocity, and these 2 characters go on some sort of adventure into the mountain that the graveyard sits on, and I imagine they find out some dark stuff about their town's past. And I'm looking so much and I'm looking so forward to this. I want to actually read this in October. Next we have House of Sea and Sorrow. I've been seeing this a lot here on BookTube, and everyone seems to either love it or think it's okay, but I haven't seen anybody just hate it so far. I believe this is like a retelling of the 12 Dancing Princesses, but I believe it's with fae, because the princesses are like going off to this enchanted kingdom in the middle of the night and dancing with people. And then I believe the 3 eldest have just been found dead in the beginning of when this book starts, but that's pretty much all I know. Next I have Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim. This was also an Outcrate box. All these books right now were Outcrate boxes. And this is about our main character who was a seamstress in London, I think. And then she hears that this competition to sew an outfit for the emperor has opened up to everyone but not the girls. So this is one of those girl pretends to be a boy thing, and normally this competition is only limited to like noblemen who are designers. And so she disguises herself as a boy and enters this competition, and I imagine at some point someone finds out her secret and then things blow up. That's usually how these kind of stories go. But I am looking forward to this, and the cover is beautiful. I love that navy kind of blue. Next is We Hunt the Flame. I've been hearing a lot of people loving this one, but I'm just not in the mood for it yet. This is another one of those girl pretends to be a boy kind of things, but these stories don't terribly interest me, but I am interested in this because they're hunting some sort of like magical flame to save their kingdom, I believe. That's all I really know about it. We'll see when I get to this. Okay, that is the end of the subscription boxes and the books I bought before my birthday, and now we are actually into the birthday books. Before we get into this, I would like to say that I have pre-ordered myself some books for my birthday. One is Sarah J Maas's new book series, the first book in her new book series that comes out in February, I think. And then another book by and then next February, I've also pre-ordered Teresa Levenseller's new book, where it's like kind of like a evil queen from Once Upon a Time thing, where she decides to marry the king, get the king to fall in love with her, marry him, and then kill him so she can rule. But I think she like starts to fall in love with him. I cannot remember what the name of it is for the life of me, but I will link it in the description below with all the other books. So if you ever want to know any of the names of these books, heck, next to it in parentheses, I'll probably put, this is the book I couldn't remember the name for. So if you want to look at any of these books and find out more detailed summaries, because I give kind of like a very basic description of them, they will all be in the description below. Another one I pre-ordered for myself was that book that's coming out late October that's about that asexual character, Behind the Black Door. That's it. So that's another book I pre-ordered for myself for my birthday, and I believe that is all of them. There might be one I'm forgetting, but I think that's all of them. Oh, I also ordered myself another reading planner because I got one from Owlcrate in December of last year, and I've been loving reading it. There's no way I would probably remember half the books I read in a month if I didn't have that reading planner. It is a lifesaver, especially when it comes to my wrap-ups. It's like, what did I give that reading? Let's check Goodreads. Nope, just look at the little bubbles I filled in on the reading planner. It's perfect. So unfortunately, I haven't been able to find that exact one. So I just ordered another one from Amazon, and we will see how I like it when it gets here. I'll probably do a video on it, like my first few times using it, and so you guys can see it. First, I have this surprise book that showed up on my doorstep a few hours ago. Let's see what this is and who it's from. It's got my name on it, but nothing about who it's from. Okay, so we have The Babysitter's Coven by Kate Williams. This one is actually from my friend. She was sending me something for my birthday, but I didn't know what it was. And thank you so much. She must have been looking at my Goodreads wish list because I only added this like a few days ago. Well, actually, maybe 2 weeks ago now, just after I heard about it from another booktuber who was like reading it because they had it as an ARC. They literally read it at like the last minute. So I added it to my Goodreads list, and my friend must have seen it, so she got it for me. Thank you so much. So this is about our main character, Esme. She has this really mysterious note from her mother saying, "Find the babysitters." And then along the way, Cassandra runs into this Instagram model called, and along the way they find out that there is actually, I guess, a babysitter's coven club, and a lot of bad stuff starts happening, and they turn out must find out somehow that they're witches and they have powers, and they must stop like this dark being before it can take over the world. It sounds light, fluffy, but funny at the same time, and witchy. So I'm looking forward to this.